Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode of Project Pixel. My name is Ryan and welcome to Belle from Beauty and the Beast, and this particular version of Belle took a grand total of 52 minutes and 51 seconds to make and has been built on a 50 by 40 lot size. Now, a little bit of background of this particular picture. Now, this was actually a request from someone in the comments section. They were kind enough to leave me a few different ideas and thoughts of what they would like to see next, so I'm going to try and see how many of them I can make a possibility. But if you have any ideas, don't forget to head to the comment section and post them down there, along with any games you'd like to see me build in. Now, let's talk a little bit about this particular model. So, Belle here from Beauty and the Beast is not a particularly complex build for size. However, it is one of the more complex builds for just sheer quantity of tiles and sheer quantity of colours. Now, Belle here is using somewhere in the neighbourhood of 14 to 15 colours. I can't remember exactly at the moment. And the colour palette changes a couple of times throughout. And the biggest problem I faced in this build was the fact that this particular version of Belle is made of so many yellows, and The Sims 4 is so lacking in yellows. Without using wood tones, there are 2 yellows, one of which you'll see get changed shortly. And that's all I have. So what I would say with this build is, if you download this build, bear in mind this is very similar to Tigger, so it looks okay close up. The point where it looks good is from a really big distance, and one of the glamour shots at the very end of this video really highlights just how awesome it looks from a distance. But as EA develop The Sims and as more game packs get added, I hope they will add more yellow carpet or more yellow tiles. What you can then do is actually use the yellow tiles to really make the dress stand out. So something exciting to do for the future. Now, you can see I've worked on the bust area here, and for those of you who aren't aware, the bust is kind of the head and shoulders and that kind of area. So I've worked on most of that, and that's pretty much done. And now I'm just working on the first parts of her top of her dress, her arms and such like that. Now, the idea for this particular build, as in the inspiration for it, actually came from sewing patterns. Now, I seem to spend a large amount of my time on sewing patterns, which is actually quite worrying for someone who A, doesn't like sewing, and B, has no interest in taking it up as a hobby. Don't ask. The reason why I actually do spend a large amount of my time on there is purely for the fact that a lot of the models I use are squares, and knitting results in mostly square stitching. So patterns and such are actually surprisingly useful. Also, not to mention, they kind of give you a list of roughly how many colours you need and rough sort of ideas of how things are going to go. So I basically found a model that was very similar to this. So I put it in Photoshop, made a few changes and had a bit of a play with some of the colours to see what would happen. And I ended up with this model. So this is where this one's actually come from. So it's based off a knitting pattern, would you believe? The model itself is huge. The full dress you can actually see, including all the way down to the feet and the shoes. So naturally, when it came to putting it on The Sims, given the fact that I'm limited on lot size, I had to condense it a little bit. So as you can see, the image has been cropped slightly, which is why we're on a 40 by 50 lot. So you can see here, I'm just working the sleeves of the gloves and such for Belle. Her hands in this particular pose are interlinked with one another. So you can see I've got the starting parts, there you go, there's a change of yellow there, which is going to highlight, I've got the starting part of the glove coming down towards her hands, and they will be linked on the front of her dress. And you can see here, here's the first of the yellows, well the second actually, this is the more vibrant of the two, and then we've got a bit more of a dull yellow. And I think that's the key point to take away from this dress is, although it looks good and the shape is perfect, the colours are brilliant, as in like placement, they will need to be changed if you want to get this to look even more stunning. But without the use of custom content or more game packs, sadly I am limited. But in the future, if you do make changes, head over to my social media and post me a picture. Show me what you do with these videos and what you do with these builds, because it's awesome to see and I love reading all the comments that I get. Now, as we're getting ready to wrap up this particular build, as I've mentioned already, you can download this. Just search Mysterious Mr. Ryan on the Sims 4 gallery, and this particular build, along with my latest builds of Project Pixel, will be available for download. I will save you some time with this build as well. Around the edge of the build, I will do a white frame and border. Again, it's something I've done many times before now, so I'm just going to cut that out from now on, unless it's anything particularly exciting or difficult. So bear that in mind. Next, as we move into the glamour shots, all the frames and stuff will already be done. Ladies and gentlemen, as we do this slow pan of Belle here, if you have liked this video, please don't forget to hit that like button down below and consider getting subscribed. I do make pixel art every single Friday, and at 9 PM GMT, videos should go live. That is my regular upload date. I also do Minecraft videos and the occasional Pokemon videos, and also I'm starting to do vlogs, so don't forget you can always check those out. Full links to all my playlists in the description down below. Ladies and gentlemen though, I'm going to leave you with this slow pan of Belle. So for now, I'm out. Please remember to stay awesome, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.